Lovely. Thank you so much, Ramona. And I'm very happy to be the warm up act for Jeremy before he gets on the call. I want to thank you for the invite and for everyone who has tuned in on their evening when they could have done so many other things. It is genuinely moving to be on this call with so many people, like Ramona said, who have been on the front line of resistance for years in workplaces, in our communities, and in our streets. And over the past decade, wherever we've seen injustice, whether it's the bedroom tax, the cuts to benefits, industrial action, racist immigration laws, cuts to youth services, to our libraries, to our NHS, there has been one constant, which is the People's Assembly. You guys have always been there, demonstrating, organizing, building power in our communities, and holding the line. And that hasn't been easy. It's been really difficult, but it's been completely necessary as part of fighting back for our communities and the working class. We obviously find ourselves at a very important juncture, a turning point, where we do have a Labour Party in government, elected not because Keir Starmer inspired anyone during the election campaign, but because people were sick of the Tories and they wanted something different. They elected a Labour government on the mandate of real change. But what we've seen are many of the same policies still in place. The two-child benefit cap remains. The welfare system is still punishing the poor and treating disabled people with very little dignity and no respect. And what we're now also recognizing and identifying and campaigning against is a British government that is arming a genocidal apartheid state. Everyone has witnessed for 2 years a live stream genocide on their phone, and we are continuing to sell arms to that genocidal state. And so it isn't just complicity, it is directly enabling and directly participating in a genocide. And we all know the situation that we're facing. We have to be quite honest and blunt that Westminster is dominated by parties that serve the interests of billionaires and corporations. If you think about the freebies, if you think about the revolving door through corporations and parliament, the holidays, and so forth. But people across the country are rightfully demanding more, and we have to deliver that. And that's why, while it doesn't have a name yet, we have launched the process of founding a new party, which has a platform name called Your Party. And it's a political project that is rooted in anti austerity, in anti racism, and anti war values that we all rightfully subscribe to, built for, and by the working class. And Jeremy will stress this as well. This isn't just for elections, it is to organize and be rooted in our communities, in our social movements, and in our trade unions, truly to build power from the bottom up. And in the spirit of honesty and in the spirit of just identifying everything that you've already seen, the attacks on this have already started. The media has been trying to drag us through the dirt, and it's the same playbook they always use when the left stands up and fights back. And I've said this in my interview with Navarra that I'm from an area called Ozals, and when people try to fight you and come for you, you fight back. You stand your ground, and this time we are going to win. We are here because we recognize that no single campaign, no single MP, and no single organization can do this alone. That's what it is to be part of a movement. And that's why the role of the People's Assembly has never been more vital. Like I said before, you've spent years holding the line, and now we have to go on the offensive and build something different. A political force that doesn't just speak to people, but it's like what you guys do, listen to them. That doesn't just parachute policies from above, but wins on the ground. And that's why we're committed to making this new left party truly democratic. Our founding conference will be shaped by every person who decides to join us and attend based on the principle that I'm sure all of us can agree to: one member, one vote. And that has to be at the heart of this, that we are doing everything to making sure that people are able to attend and take part. So it has to be fully accessible for disabled comrades, carers, parents, and those on low incomes, because democracy is lovely to talk about, but it's only real when everyone can participate and have their voices heard. And we have to also address the fact that this isn't nostalgia for what might have been. We're not interested in mourning the Labour Party. The Labour Party is dead. It is dead morally, it's dead politically, and it's dead electorally. We're here to build something new, and we have to get it right because the stakes are so high. As current polling stands, Nigel Farage will be Prime Minister unless we get organised, unless we win. And the Labour leadership is obviously mimicking reform, echoing Enoch Powell, tiptoeing around inequality, trying to tinker around the edges. And at the same time, the far right has been emboldened and grows in confidence. And we know that we can't defeat them, copying their language. We defeat them by standing up without apology for migrants' rights, for peace, justice, and solidarity. And we saw that only a year ago when we had far right riots in our communities, and our communities came out. They stood up and they fought back. And so people, I understand, are feeling wary. People have given up time, energy, and hope to campaigns over the past decade. But I do believe that something has shifted. And there isn't a better sign than that. Then in the first 3 days of launching, over 500,000 people have signed up. Over 600,000 people, 600,000 have signed up. And that isn't just, a protest vote. It is the beginning of a movement. And the People's Assembly was born out of a simple conviction that we will not sit back and let people be punished for an economic crisis that they did not cause. The responsibility of that was in the City of London and by the bankers, not our communities. That conviction is still burning bright, and it's time to galvanize it, harness it, and work together. So it is incumbent on all of us on this call and not on this call to build a political force that says yes to migrants' rights and refugees, yes to public ownership, yes to climate justice, yes, an end to genocide, war, and occupation, and no to the status quo where we've got billionaires who are basically running this country to the ground. I'm really excited and I'm really proud to be building this with Jeremy. And I'm even prouder to be on the side of our class and our communities and the People's Assembly in making this a successful, winnable, exciting, hopeful project. And we have an opportunity of a lifetime. We can make history together. So thank you so much.